Hello, this is Indigenous Monstrosity. Nope. Hello, this is Monstrositus X, and I'm back, people. I'm back, bitches. Nah, I'm just trying to show you what I've been up to. When I was putting advertisements on the buses. I was putting on these signs. These were 11 by 28s. I cut 11 by 11 off, and I get something to draw on. And 11 by 11 leaves me with 11 by 17. So I have something to practice, and this is way heavier stock than the 2 pound or 1.5 pound, whatever that y'all use for professional drawing. So let me get right to it, because I know this is going to go by fast. I already tried this once, and it ate up all my time. So, this is about Might. Might is my superhero comic book that I'm going to be coming out with. I'm scanning these drawings into the computer so that I can show y'all. And, well, I've already scanned this one into the computer, because this one is basically a blank. And you can see up here, I don't know. Okay, yeah, you can see up here, Predators, Harm, and Slaughter. Well, those three names are three different characters built sort of like Sabretooth. And this is going to be my blank for designing those three characters. So I'm scanned this into the computer, and I have designed these three characters. But they're my bad guys, so I can't show you any of them. I have to save those for the book. I didn't intend it that way. It's just that these characters have been in my head for so long that now that I'm drawing consistently again, the first thing that pouring out of my head are the badass ones, and that's the bad guys. So this guy is a blank. I was gonna keep going further. To tell you the truth, he was supposed to be my drawing of Might. I was gonna draw Might, designing him totally, but the way his shoulders and his traps was so huge, I said, nah, Might can't be that big. So instead, I decided that this would be my form for my Sabretooth-sized characters. Not my Sabretooth-like characters, around that size. His build. This is my build for my Sabretooth-sized characters. None of my characters is based on anybody's characters. I create my characters from original thought processes, and I'm going to show you how right now. EVS, this is the character you didn't know that you created, but you did. This right here is a character that EVS created, but he didn't know he created. He created a couple of those. One named Mean Streak, and I know you're going to remember that, EVS. And this one is called Ivor Garant. Now, you know Garantophilia. EVS talked about Garantophilia with on a Jack show with Narwhal, dating some older woman to get at this younger woman. So anyway, Ivor Garant is ever old. Garantophilia is someone who likes have a sexual attraction to older people, and Garant. This is how I create my characters. When I hear or see a word that piques my interest, and being that I've been doing this very same thing since '95, it comes second nature to me now. So whenever I hear it, it's like an explosion goes off in my brain, and I have to create. I have to figure it out. I have to look it up and find out what the word means so that I can create the character. So Garant basically just means having to do with old age. So, being that Garant means old, I called him Ivor Garant. And that just means ever old. So, ever old, he's this old ass man. He walks with two canes. He's hunched over. He's very skinny. This is not skinny enough. You can see his arms. They're not skinny enough. I want him very skinny, decrepit. He's very old. And then when he does something, his abilities makes him into this powerful wizard. He's a magical being, and he becomes this powerful wizard. And then he can transform again to this super type. Like you think of Mum-Ra, the ever living. So okay, this is what. But I have stuff written down here on the bottom, but I can't show you all that because that's giving away too much of the character. I was gonna say EVS, you can have him because it's your character. I put too much into him. Came out to be such a great character in concept that I can't wait to get him in my book sooner or later. It has to be later because there's no place for me to fit him into the story at this moment. But being that Might is going to be an ongoing comic book gateway to all of my other characters, he's going to show up sometime. But thank you, EVS. Mean Streak, though, he's yours. Mean Streak is just, you could think of him as a Slade Wilson kind of character from Teen Titans. And he's just a vengeful person. Whoever, if it can be a politician, anybody, if he takes offense at something that you've done and it made headlines or whatever, he has a mean streak in him, and he'll seek vengeance against you, torture you, torment you. He'll destroy you in every way possible. You could be a government, you could be a corporation, you could be an individual, you could be anyone. It doesn't matter, anything. If he takes a dislike to you, he's coming after you. Now that one you could have, EVS. That's all you. I'm giving that away because I have too many characters. I have over 2,000 characters here. I'm gonna do another video right after this one, after I finish showing y'all what I've been up to. So this is the second level, and down here was supposed to be the third, but I had to redo them. I had to redo them someplace else. It wasn't. Trust me, he's badass. So these are characters I was just doing. You can see they're on messed up paper. You can see how tore up the paper is. This is strictly so that I could practice my inking. That's what this was for. So don't even worry about this. This is just practice, trying to get my forms and my creativity back, and making sure I can get my arms and everything. So I was practicing my fingers and hands because that's what I found on a live stream on a story time live stream when I was doing some drawings, that I had problems remembering my shortcuts to how I drew my hands. So now I practicing. So that's what got me doing all of this. I've been cutting up these signs. You can see old signs, very heavy cardstock. And let me see. Here's I did this before, but the video ran too long, and I'm trying to get this one faster, and I'm all sweaty. Okay, this one, hear that flimsy paper? Now that's 11 by 17, and here, 11 by 17 of my board. See the sign advertisement on the back? Well, remember how heavy and thick that is? This was supposed to be a drawing. This is the monster, the Frankenstein monster from Graveyard Shift. But I realized I was gonna put the what's his name, Brom. See, this is the guy with the mohawk, and this is the big dude in the back, and Brom is supposed to be this guy right here. I'm going to put an eye patch on him and a cigarette. And then I was going to have the girl, and then the Dracula dude right here. And then I was going to have that Ruiner dude in the back. But I didn't know his characters. I don't know who the Ruiner is or what's his purpose. But then he said that he's come to the planet, he's the last of his kind, come to save us from the infestation. So I figured he's a good guy. And so he's his Hulk. So then I said, okay, I can't draw him like that because I don't know the reference sizes of the Frankenstein monster and the big dude he calls Rekka. I don't know how big he is compared to him, so I can't just draw him. So I'm going to do a compilation page where they're all doing some action scenes, action shit, and that way they don't have to be the same size. They just have to be represented. So I'm gonna redo this, and then so then I just was messing around, and I intended to do Might, but again he came out just a smidge too thick in the trapezoid area. So yeah, this came out pretty good. Just messing around. I want to have something in the back blown up and on fire or something like that. But yeah, it's just a quick drawing. I scanned this into the computer so I could show it to you in a better way. This is just a quick, very quick drawings. These are very quick sketches, just so that I can get my head, my shoulders, because I had a certain way of drawing my form, and even that arm didn't come out the way I like it. I usually draw my forearms a little bit bulkier looking than that, and it came out all right, but it needs something. So let me get this out the way. I don't want to stay in this form too long. Just want to show you I've been working on my girls. I had to know that I can consistently draw attractive females, and practicing face positions, head positions. So yeah, and this guy I put in after. I drew this girl up here. I was really working on those arm position and hips and stuff like that. But and then this guy, just very quick, very extremely quick posing, positioning, just to get it, see if I still got it. And I know I got it. It's there. Like I said, my hands, that's not me. I don't draw hands like that. See, this is me. That's me. That quick. Yeah, so I've been practicing. I've gotten better, don't worry. Hands are not going to be a problem. These are stuff that I've mastered. It's in my head. I just got to get my my mind's eye to my hand to do what my mind's eye tell it to do. And I've been doing that. Don't worry about it. It's there. So here's a bunch more 11 by. See, these are the signs. You can see I already docked myself. So this is a drawing that I was gonna do. Let me see. These are all just rough sketches, practicing my monster creativity. I scanned this all to the computer so that I can either do more elaborate stuff on it, practice inking. I'm going to practice both in the computer and traditionally. Just practicing my forms, doing things quickly, getting my forms down quickly, and seeing if I can pull off what I'm trying to pull off. I know I have to do over 100 pages for my first book, because I want a 68-page first book, 68-page giant size edition for my first book, but my book is going to consist of 3 books, and the second 2 books are going to be 22 pages, 24 pages. So the second book, and it's all going to be my first book. So and then after that I'll do 68 pages, and if I want to ever do floppies, then I could break them down into 3 separate books. That's why I'm doing it this way. It's not to undercut anybody, but I'm definitely going to have to charge a little bit more for that first book, because that 100 pages, I can't undercut EVS and everybody. They're doing 48 pages. I can't give away 120 pages for $25. So it's probably going to be like around $35, $40 for that first book. But you're going to get, if you can get good sales, we're going to have we're going to give away extra covers. We're going to separate the book. We're going to do all kinds of stuff. And I'm going to have companion books, because I have all of these characters that I want to show, that I'm going to be showing y'all, and sharing. Y'all going to be down with. And I'm telling you, the bad guys is everything. These are just rough monster forms, sea creature stuff. I work very rough, extremely rough, when I'm trying to find myself. You can see that's extremely rough. I'm trying to find the image. Remember, I taught myself everything. Nobody taught me anything except for how to draw the Marvel way, and that's right here. See? How to draw the Marvel way. this is what got me started. I had to steal it to get it, and you look and see it's coming apart. See, the cover is coming apart, but the inside is still pristine. Well, not pristine, but you can still read it. There's no pages missing. Nothing's torn, just a little yellowing. Hardcover. Still got everything in here. I never drew in it. I got it from a library, so if there's anything drawn in it, that's from somebody else, not me. I respected this book. It taught me a lot. It still has to teach me some stuff because I have to relearn. I haven't read this since I was a kid. So I have to go back through and start figuring out how to spotting my blacks and all of that stuff. So, and this year I was doing my head examination. I'll be doing all of that. So, yeah, we get back to that another time. But yeah, so let me see. Let me show you. I showed y'all a Cyberfrog work that I did back in a few months back, right? I was working on a Cyberfrog. I showed y'all this. This is up on there. And this is Mike. This is his working towards his new design. You're gonna see his new design. It's just like this, except for more detail. And this is the Dane character that I was creating. Remember, I said that I believe that he, EVS said that the character, that Chael made a mistake by making Cyberfrog, it was supposed to be humanoid. So, when she messed up and was about to be kidnapped, she sent an SOS, and it took a few years before he can get here. He said it's been 20 years, so he could have just gotten to the planet maybe 5 years ago, and he's trying to find Cyberfrog. Maybe some things got damaged in the crash, and I showed you this before too, but I gave him a name since then, either Mohan Grin or Dozan Grin, and I didn't give a name to the Sin, to the ship, so I had to come up with that. But the pauldrons and everything I did. So here was what I was doing with it. Here was where I went with it. You can see this is right here. What's his name? Dane. This is Dane. This is the shoulder pauldrons. I kind of streamlined them slightly, and then they had those covers that popped off, and then they have cables that come up and help like direct them. And then this is the ball, that energy ball right there. It's blue, and there's another one in the bottom, and it transfers energy so that he can fire his cannon. And the same thing with his arm, has a ball down in there that fires the energy up to that dish, where his hand transforms into this dish, and he can use his cannons. But it's too close to the edge of the page, so what I'm gonna have to do is rotate this up. I was gonna try and shift it all over, but that's too much work. I'm not gonna do it. It's not gonna happen. So what I'm gonna do is rotate his arm back this way, just slightly, and then he'll go up this way, and give me just enough room so that I could show him blasting off. And then right behind him, I'm gonna move because his arms are spread just like Salamandroid's is. See, and I don't want that mimic like that. So I'm gonna turn him, rotate him, put him on this side. His arm is going to be up, and he's going to be kind of looking out from beneath his arm, spitting fire. And then I'm going to have Vespis over here. There's going to be a big one right behind him. And Cyberfrog is down here on the bottom. You can see his big eyes right there. I think you might be able to see it. And his mouth is open. He's going to be, his tongue is going to be, but I'm going to shrink this, make it about half the size, take a third off, make him smaller so that I can get more of his arm and his leg and his foot in there so that you can see him jumping, and then his tongue is going to be jetting out of his mouth across the screen. So, yeah, I'm working on that. And then I had my John Malin version. I think I did show y'all the cover for him. Yeah. because I showed y'all that, right? Yeah, I think I did. This is supposed to be the graveyard shift, but I don't know the sizes and of the characters in comparison to Rekka to the monster. And I was just gonna have the Ruiner in the back, making it threatening. But being that he's like a Hulk type character, I'm gonna change his position, and then I'm gonna put all these guys are just gonna be basically standing around. But now, being that I don't know the size relationship between the two characters, these two, the big guys, I don't want to be representing John Millen's characters wrong, so I'm going to change it so that it doesn't matter. They're just going to be a compilation of characters on the screen. It don't matter. You can tell their sizes and from what their body types and stuff like that, but they're just going to be jumping around doing all in action. And then on the top, the Ruiner is going to be there. So I'm going to keep doing. You can see this guy right here. That's his Mohawk dude. What's his name? I started shaping his face. Tar Pit, yeah. And then this is Rekka in the back here. And then this one right here next to him is going to be Brahm. And then that's the girl here, Dracula there, and Frankenstein monster here. So I'm working on that. And then I had these guys. I was working on one of my characters. This one is one of my characters. He's based on a bird type character. I can't tell. A bird of prey type character. That's as much as I can give you. And I was designing them, and then I saw Mandy Summers launching Super Dead, and I saw what John Malin did that cover for her. So I instantly put this line in here, and then a cross line going up and down, and I was gonna turn this from into a Super Dead, but he's too muscular. He's too thick. Super Dead is kind of skinny, so I started over on a bigger page on a 11 by 17, and the same thing. He's pushing over a cemetery headstone here and dragging down the cross over here and crawling out of the grave. He just crawled out. There's going to be mounds of dirt behind him. He just crawled out. You're going to be able to see there's a dark hole that he crawled out of. And yeah, so, and then his hair's going to be blowing and maybe lightning, and it's going to be in the dark and all of that. So yeah, that's what I did there. And this is a fight that I was going to be doing, but this is a bad position. It's not the right position. See, his arm is up here, and he's supposed to be grabbing on his cape and pulling it over his head and punching him. And the cape is tight over his head, and he's kind of blasting a hole through the cape, and you'll be able to see his face and his lit up eyes, because the beams are going to be tearing through the cape, and you'll be able to see his face as he's getting punched. So, but this is a bad position to show it in, so I got to turn the body. I tried 3 different positions so I can show that head. So I think I'm going to go back the other direction where Superdad is looking at this in this direction and pulling it across from the bottom up, and you can see Devour's face turned this way, and his eyes kind of blazing the beams more in our direction. So I'm going to redo that and turn it around. I'm going to do both covers and see what I can get. And then these are characters that I was working. These are some of my bad guys. I didn't, like I said, I was just doodling. But I like the way they look so great. I like the way they was coming out that I took and I created 4 of these characters. There's 1, 2, that's a bug-like character. There's 3, and then there's, this one is garbage. And then there's 4, and then there's 5. So I created 4 out of the 5 characters. I drew them to their entirety on 11 by 17 boards. So, and they came out great. They came out great. So yeah, I can't show them to you. They're my bad guys, and they're not even going to be in the first book. But I have these characters floating around in my head for so long that I can't help it that they just come flooding out of my brain. I was intending to draw Might and a bunch of the good guys. Those guys I want to show you. Might, Quill, Nightshade, and Legacy. Those are my lead characters in my story. So I wanted to draw. I have a drawing I have a drawing that I was working on, but I kind of not didn't finish it. But in order so that I could finish these guys, because they were so prominent in my head, I had so much inspiration. And like I said, with everything I wrote up on them, I didn't have any abilities. I didn't have anything for these guys. They just came flooding out. And as I was creating them, as I was drawing them, everything came to me. And I can't wait to fucking get into these guys, but that's going to be a while. It's going to be a while, especially some of them. I can't even, just think of Carax, think of Apocalypse, think of Dark Side, think of characters like Thanos, think of that type of characters, man. And they're just crazy, man. And then the Bug character, it's not no ripoff from EVS or anything like that. I had these characters I created for Here Comes the Pain wrestling game. So, and that was back on the PlayStation 2. So, don't think that I'm trying to rip anybody off. I'm just very highly creative. I got multitudes of characters. Like I told you, I've got thousands of characters. Oops. I have thousands of characters, and I'm going to be using them many as possible over these months to come. So I'm going to get them into my story, but they're not going to be flooded into the story and be all over the place and then disappear. No, they're going to be worked in at a nice rate, and y'all are going to love these guys. So basically, that's all I wanted to show y'all. I wanted to show y'all that I haven't been sitting around here doing nothing. It's just been so hot. I'm up here in my attic, and it's been so hot up here. I don't want to burn out my computer. It's up here in the attic. I don't want to be running up my electric bill with a whole lot of AC. So I'm just drawing downstairs in the living room. I've had trouble. My brother fell sick, and he's in the hospital now. Even though he's been a pain in the ass, he's still my brother. So I've had all kinds of issues and things going on, and I'm just trying to. Here's my Might book. This is the Might of Thug City. This is the book that I'm writing. All of my characters, all of my basic story stuff. Well, not my story stuff, my character stuff. All of my character stuff is in here. My story stuff is in a binder book like this. All of my story breakdowns and outlines, they're in stories like this. So you see how like you got all this stuff? That's all story stuff, but not from. This is from some other story that I was writing. Like I got stories like that all over. You see all those boxes over there, those little boxes with the pink. All of those are books like this. All of these are these composition notebooks. So, and here's my Bible. Here's my Bible. I'm going to do a video right after this. I'm going to load this video onto my computer, and then I'm going to do another video showing you the first page of my Bible, so that you know that when I said I have 10,000 possible characters, I do. They're possible. They're not flushed out. They're nothing. But when I pulled my characters out of here, out of my Bible, you see how thick it is? 3 big books, 3 composition notebooks, and then I put them into this book. I got about 200 in this book. In this book from this book. These 3 books, see, they tied together. So yeah, I got them all tied together. They're one book because I turned it into that. Look at that. See, it's tied together. See all that string I used to separate them. Remember where I left off when I'm reading through and stuff like that. I got all kinds of creation. I can't show you, but I got gangs, I got groups, I got organizations, I got kids, I got different countrymen, like from China, Russia, Germany. I got dudes. So everything is in here. There's nothing I can't need in a comic book that I can't get out of my Bible. So that's what this is. And I have a, let me see. You see, there's a box under there with a whole bunch. There's a box over there. That orange box. That orange box has like 10 different stories in it. Both with these composition notebooks with names and all of the backgrounds and history. And then I have these binders that's behind it. All of these binder books that's behind them. So they're all stories lined up to be told. So, yeah, man. I'm here to tell my stories, and that's what I'm just letting y'all know that I've been doing, working on this last month that I've been MIA. I plan on getting back in. Somebody broke into my house. That's why I haven't been on late nights. I gotta make sure. It's my fault. I left the window open and thinking I came up here, but they knew I was the only one in the home, and that anybody, my brother stays locked away. Nobody really sees him, so they knew I was up here because I was on with Shane Davis on a stream, 2 o'clock in the morning, and they came through the front window and then ran back out the front door, leaving everything open. So when I got downstairs, I saw the front door open and my window was wide open, but they didn't take nothing. My games are down there, but I got so much art shit down there, clay and all kinds of stuff, boxes piled up, all kinds of garbage. It looks like shit down there, but I guess that's why I didn't try to take nothing. So, but I gotta be careful now. So my dog is dead, so nobody to protect the house but me. So I gotta protect it. I'm dropped all my boards on the ground. So I'm gonna call it quits for now. I just want y'all to know that might is happening. Might is going to happen. I'm drawing my ass off. I can't show y'all, but I'm developing specific stuff so that I can ink and color just so that I can show you guys. So be patient with me. I'm coming back with a vengeance.